Hello and welcome to my channel. You wanna know the best guns in Apex? I'm gonna show you right now. It's been an honor you watching my video, and I'm gonna just tell you a little bit about the guns and why I make this video in English. So, I'm usually doing Swiss German because that's my mother language, my language I talk every day. And I thought maybe for tier lists, nobody wants to see like the third video, the fourth video. Only nerds that play Apex want to see those videos, and I was like, well, my fanbase don't want to see another one. Maybe somebody else want to see a video, and maybe people that watch my videos that never saw me talk English are going to enjoy it as well. So, just for the start, and now let's begin. I want to do this as quick as possible. My first video was like 1 hour and 40 minutes long. The second one was like 15 something, aiming at that time. The start is very clear. You can see I have from my last updates of the tier list. This is the new update. You can see where I ranked them and where did they go from the last season. And you can see on top nothing changed at all. We have the Kraber on S tier, which is super deserved. It's the only gun that can one-shot people, so what do you want more? Then we have the Spitfire, which is disgusting good and can kill like 2 teams at once with 1 mag. It's so strong and I like it how it is, and where it is, it belongs to the care package, and that is good. The Alternator, very strong gun, not the biggest fan of the type of gun it is. Super effective against red armor, so if you can have it, it's a no-brainer, pick it up. And then the best boys, the assault rifle boys, 301 and flatline. I personally like to flatline sometimes more, sometimes I like the 301 a little bit more. It depends on my personal mood. But undoubtedly the best guns you can pick up from the start. Then if you are absolutely cracked and have the best aim in the history of humankind, you use the Wingman, because the Wingman is super strong if you have the aim for it. It's the best, one of the best main guns. It's one of the best secondaries. It can do everything, long range, short range, you name it, you're gonna take it. If you want to get better, you take the Wingman. Yeah. Then we have a new gun, the Car. It is such a good gun. I was first not really impressed, but then I thought, hey man, I'll give it another try, and just the fact that it can use heavy and light, and the magazine and heavy and light magazine makes you never really have no attachments for it. You have always some magazine or something. And yeah, its time to kill is brutal, its recoil is okay for an SMG. And yeah, it's a no-brainer to pick up. So if you want to go for SMGs and really don't want to use an R99 like you did in the last 3 years, you gotta get the Car. My personal one of my babies, it's the Rampage. I'm always saying to my friends, use the Rampage. It's a very good gun. Easy to control, easy to learn to aim right. The magazine is huge. It's one of the best starting guns. It's, in my opinion, the best gun in arenas for starting the first round. Yeah, you can't go wrong with it. It's a very decent gun, long range. It's had so good hip fire. Like, I don't know why it has so good hipfire. It's so good in every perspective, and even you can charge it with Thermite Grenade, and then it's even broker than before. So yeah, take it. R99 next in line. One of my personal favorites, a secondary, just to piss off my enemies at close range. Yeah, nobody expects someone that runs an 301 or a flatline to just pull up an R99 in close range fight. So yeah, that hurts. Walt, amazing gun as well. A little bit better on long range than the car or R99, but if I'm honest, I would rather use a flatline or 301 than a vault for my all the activities that I do in Apex for long, medium, and short. And as a secondary, it's a little bit less useful than an R9 or a car, but it comes next in line, and it's still very, very good and has an easy recoil. So we have the Elstad. Elstad did get nerfed, luckily, and yeah, it's still very good. Just lost places because it's now a little bit more balanced. Before it was kinda broken, so now it's in line. I can finally talk about my favorite gun in this fucking shit ass bullshit game. It's the Sentinel, and I fucking hated that gun back then, and I just started using it now, and I fucking love it. It's my favorite secondary. The new map is horrible for close range. You have so many long range encounters. So what about the Sentinel? Why do I think it's so absolutely broken good? It's easy. It's one of those guns that you can easily peek and peek out and do a lot of damage. 70 to the body, 126 to the head, and if you have aim, bro, 126 damage is guaranteed. So often if I run Sentinel and I have a decent teammate and we have just the spot that we can control over, nobody wants to fucking peek my spot, because every time someone peeks my spot, they getting fucking headshotted in their head, and I'm gonna melt those supplies from them. So yeah, I would say it's not the greatest gun, but in my opinion it's one of the best when it comes down to effective secondary. And you can use everything besides a Sentinel, like everything above you can use beside it. Expect maybe a Kraber, that will be a little bit overkill. But yeah, if you don't like the Sentinel, the only reason you don't like the Sentinel is because you have no aim. And that's no, I don't want to diss you about that, but it's just kinda a fact. This gun melts. If you want to have the best setup, it's like purple stock is the best upgrade for the gun, because the swave is like 0. My personal scope is the 6 times, but that's personal. I really like the 6 times on the Sentinel and on every other sniper. Quick for G7. G7 now in care package. I personally don't like it. I never pick it up, but it is strong for medium ranges and ever was strong. Yeah, but nobody using it now because in the care package, at that point you get that gun, you already have full loader and don't want to switch for a fucking G7. Hemlock is strong with aim, but it's nothing near than the other brothers, like the assault rifle brothers. Single shot is okay, but would rather use something different. Anti-burst, most of the time you hit only 2 bullets than 3, so it doesn't really get that crispy. Triple Take came out of the care package, now on a decent spot. It is a very decent long range gun, and most people would say it is the best. I highly disagree, of course, because Sentinel is still better. I still think in a 1v1 I will still kill you if you have a triple take. Just the charge up time makes this gun at medium ranges a little bit less useful, and at higher ranges even less useful, because the waiting time to fully charge a shot can be very bad for you, because I don't have to wait for my shots on the Sentinel, which gives it the upper hand. Another surprise maybe for you, and definitely for me, is the 30-30. I really hated the 30-30 when it came out, and for like 2 seasons it sucked ass. And then just out of nowhere I just played it a little bit, and it came into my mind that it's actually good. It is like an assault rifle, a single assault rifle like the G7. It's very strong, even if you have like a line of sight on a good spot. You can charge those shots and do even more damage. I like the sound that it makes, and the hop-up that can load 2 shells in it. Did it even get better? So yeah, I hope you guys understand me, because my English isn't the greatest. So yeah, I'm sorry about that at that point. The Havoc dropped a lot of places because I encountered that the turbocharger is one of the fucking rarest things to find in this shit ass game. And if you run this gun without a turbocharger, it is just okay. It's not really that great, and even with the turbocharger, it has such a weird recoil that in my eyes it's just not worth picking up, just because at the time you find the turbocharger, you encountered at least one team, and you have a very big disadvantage without the turbocharger. So the chances of you losing this fight is huge, and yeah, you never want to lose your first fight. So we have the Peacekeeper Shotguns in particular have a very rough time, especially on the new map. It's so much open, not many buildings. Yeah, I see a lot of streamers that still use the PK because they're used to shotguns, just in general. And as I can see those clips with 100 damage per shot, but actually I never can reproduce it, so I'd rather use the Sentinel up close and just quickscope them, rather than trying with a Peacekeeper and just hit 13. So yeah, that's just my personal opinion. Then the bow, one of my best friends loved the bow, and I always ranked it very at the end of the list. So hopefully he gets a smile on his face. I think the bow isn't very poor. It is better than I expected, especially with the long range engines we have today. Yeah, the only problem still is that the bow uses arrows, which are not really common in Devotion. Even with the turbocharger, at medium ranges it's mediocre. At close range it is absolutely melting people, but like I said, we don't really see that much close range encounters in this season, so yeah, I don't like the gun either. So if you can make it use, it is good, and if you have it charged up and can peek around the corner or shoot around the corner, it is strong. But I would not pick it up. Only pick it up if you just drop or just land. and have nothing else. So yeah, it's decent to start with, but not to take it over to the next fight. Yeah, then we have the Longbow. I just thought long ago that the Longbow is the best sniper. Now that I played a lot of Sentinel and compared it to the Longbow, where I always switched back and forth, one game Sentinel, one game Longbow, even the golden Longbow could not make as much damage and could not make as much use as a Sentinel or as like a 30-30. It is has a very weird spot in the game. It is even so weird that the bowcheck feels better than the Longbow. Like the 30-30 feels better than the Longbow. I don't want to say that the Longbow is a bad gun, but the damage on the Longbow is just poor. It got a nerf back to the original damage it did in like Season 0. Like they buffed it last season to 60 to the body, which was amazing. Now it does only again 55 and the headshot is like a 96. So I have so many times where I sniped someone 2 times in the head with 96 and he still lived, and this is something that I just don't want to see in a sniper. So yeah, it stays on where it is and didn't move even though the meta changed to long range. Then we have the Mastiff that just moved one place up. The Mastiff sometimes even getting preferred over the Peacekeeper, just in fact that it shoots a little bit faster than the Peacekeeper and now has a hop up to load 2 shells if you can find it. Yeah, it's for me it's still the gun that does like 30 damage like every time I shoot it, and once I'm getting lucky I do a 70, which is actually the same like a Sentinel. So like I was saying, I'll rather quick scope with a sniper and just miss than yeah getting those massive shots and hitting 30, because a lot of times 30 is just not enough to win me the gunfight. Yeah, you can say you did 30 damage, but what do you get from 30 damage if you the last person and just die? Yeah, nothing. Maybe you help the team that comes next and third parties, but I don't care at that point. Then we have the worst SMG in the game. I don't know what's wrong with it. It was so good when it came back to the from the care package, and then they just did slightly adjustments to it, and now it has a huge recoil. You can't really hit the full burst at like over 20 meters, which is like still SMG range. Yeah, I saw pro players using it that they suck ass with it. Yeah, that's just, I don't have to get any more points. I really dislike it. It's only good at face-to-face distance, and at that point, yeah, why are you even running a gun that you'd only use at like point blank range? So yeah, it's sad. It's very sad. Maybe in the future when it gets a hop up to full auto and stopped with that ridiculous stupid recoil from the burst, it can move higher in place again. But at the time, it's not really better than just a secondary that you use when you run out of ammo and have an enemy in your face. Then the biggest fall is of course the Eva. The Eva got nerfed massively. Not only shotguns got a little bit nerfed. The Eva itself got nerfed with damage reduction, which didn't sound that much, but it feels so much worse than before. The range is not existing on this gun. I think every other shotgun has a better range than the Eva. The only thing that stands out for the Eva that's still full auto. But yeah, it doesn't really do that much damage. You're rather using an R99 at the range you're using the Eva, and you're probably doing a lot more damage than the Eva, and you're going to survive your fight. Yeah, Eva is she was one of the greatest, now is one of the worst, and not even considering it picking up. Then we have the Mozambique. Personally, I still think the Mozam will be better than the Eva, but I think at that point it will be a massive disrespect for the Eva to get lower rank than the Mozam, so I didn't. Mozam is a great long range shotgun, but yeah, it's shotguns. It does it can hit the 15 damage on very long shotgun ranges. It's a very good arena gun for point blank range. The 45 to the body is decent, but in most scenarios you rather would use something else. The charge rifle in my opinion is still the worst sniper in the game. Not because it is so bad, just because it's so hard to use. You have a great damage potential, but the problem is that you have to be with the beam completely on the enemy. Yes, you have no damage fall off, but in my lobbies, and this is a PC only tier list, my enemies moving like the next MLG pro players, so chances of me hitting them with the real shot is very low, and just hitting them with a little bit of my beam is just too little. So little that every other fucking long range gun is simply better. RE45, reason why you are so low on my list and dropped so many places down is just because you are a point blank range gun, and for point blank range at the moment is just there's so many better weapons than you. If you have medium range engagements, the gun does no damage at all and has a very, very hard recoil. And finally we move to the worst gun in the game. Has no hop-ups, has nothing. This gun is so bad. Even with the best trigger finger, you are absolutely getting destroyed with this gun, and it's something I rather not use. I only pick this gun in arenas if I want to have more light ammo for my 301 or R9, and that's the only reason I ever using in my hand. If I'm playing Battle Royale, I'm just running over it and just using my bare fists, because rather boxing and dying like a man than just getting destroyed with a P2020 and thinking I'm having a chance, because I don't feel safe with a P2020. I just know I'm dead. I'm absolutely dead. Yeah.